I know you're one of the guys who was part of the defensive staff last year, and the staff has obviously changed a bit. I'm just curious, Manny talked a lot about, having to take playing time away from some guys that just aren't cutting it. Aside from that, what behind the scenes has Manny tried to do to make this defense get better? I know obviously there's been some growing pains, but you're a part of both staffs, right? Last year's and this year. Just curious, how is he different since he's taken over the defensive reins?
Yeah, I mean, obviously going in that game, we knew the goal was to be better against the run. After what we faced last year, our goal was to get better against the run, and we need to do that as a whole. So, that's what Coach Diaz has tried to change and improve on. And there's times that we look like we have, and obviously times that we haven't. So, but like I said earlier, previously, just having the head coach in there and having the urgency when the head coach is coaching the defense, that's what he tried to bring back, trying to bring back kind of our tenacity as a defense. And you see it at times, and then sometimes we lose our edge. So that's, there's no secret ingredient. The defense is a defense. We run a lot of the same things we ran last year. We just got to run them better. We got to execute better. And that, that's what Coach Diaz is trying to accomplish. And sometimes it's a player's issue. The guys that are playing, we got to find guys that can play better or execute better. Not saying they're bad players, but they're just not executing at a certain time in the game. And we got to find the guys that can go in there and execute what we practice all week.
Coach, we're going to go to Cal Friedman at WVUM. Cal, go ahead.
Thanks, Cam. Coach, we saw Jacoby George returning punts for the first time all season, and he wowed a lot of people in the crowd. What came to that decision to finally put George on punt returns, and how much confidence do you have in him going forwards?
Yeah, he's caught a few in the last end of some other games, but going in, Tyreek was a little banged up on the sideline, so we had to go with somebody else, and we had a lot of confidence in Jacoby. And man, what we saw, we were excited about. We're excited with him back there. He has great confidence, fields the ball, makes guys miss. I mean, on the big return, 22-yard return, he split 3 guys that all had him pretty much hemmed up. So that one was on him, and he did a great job. And like I said, he's a punt catcher. He's natural back there. The one he caught at the end of the game, a high pressure punt to field right there, and he fielded it like it was nothing. So have a ton of confidence in him right now. I told in the special teams meeting yesterday that we got a guy back there that can make it happen. So we got to go and set returns up for him, and that should give us a little bit, want to play a little harder on that unit and get the guy in space, because we feel confident that he can get it done.
Coach, we've got Chris Stock from Inside the U. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, just what's the status of Sam Brooks? We saw him a couple games ago, play sparingly. I didn't see him out there. It just is he with you guys? Is he someone that could potentially be in the mix? What's the latest with Sam? And
yeah, we'd love to get him in the mix. Obviously going through camp injured, set him back a little bit, but going forward, we know he's a guy that can play, and once he's in that position where he feels like he can play well, and we have the confidence in him to get him in there, we would.
And sorry, just to follow on what you said earlier about trying to find different guys, is there things that'll happen differently in practice this week, or do you still like the guys that have been playing a lot so far, or just kind of what's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, we had a great meeting yesterday as a defense as a whole, and just it's not to point out anybody, but it's just to show everybody on a defense. What we say is if you're out there and you're giving your body for your teammates, you want to be out there with guys that are doing the same. People are going to mis-execute some things. People are going to have some communication errors. But the things that happen over and over again, obviously we got to look at as a coaching staff is who can improve our defense personnel-wise. So it was a good meeting. It was kind of a come together meeting, but also understand where we're falling short. And if that's a personnel issue, then at some point we got to get it fixed. That's on us as coaches to get it fixed.
Coach, we'll go to Kobe Price at the Sun Sentinel. Kobe, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, when you look at last year's defense versus this year's defense, obviously there are guys in different roles, different playing time, et cetera. But just from a performance standpoint, overall, how would you compare, I guess, the performance? What areas has maybe this defense improved at, or maybe not as improved at compared to last year?
Yeah, every year is a new year and a new team. But like I said, I think we needed to improve on our run game, the explosive runs. And it's such a weird year this year. Defensively, there's sometimes in the second half of the UNC game, we held them to 100 yards. So, but the explosive plays are just hampering us right now. And that gets passed on from every level, whether it's up front, the linebackers or the secondary, an explosive play doesn't happen because of one person or one position group. So I think it's gotten better from last year. I do believe that. I think our run defense is elite at times. And then at times it gets out of there and splits us for explosive play when you think we got it bottled up. So, eliminating our explosive plays, obviously what we went through last year against UNC, giving up 550, we had to be better against the run. I think that has improved. But again, we got to eliminate the explosive plays and obviously it's constant improvement on getting that done.
And if I may follow up real quickly, how's Keontra doing in terms of, I know he just came back first game. How did he feel? What did he say about just making that comeback?
Man, he looked really good out there. Probably should have played him a little bit more. I was a little worried about his conditioning level. He played on all third downs. But, he just has a knack for the ball. You look at his production, he played about 30 snaps. Obviously, like I said, I should have played him a little more, but he just finds a football and makes big time plays in big time situations. The moment's never too big for him. So he's good. He's healthy. He's fast as ever. So I'm excited to see him this weekend.
Last two, Coach. We'll start first with Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, John. I was going to ask about Keontra also. Wayman Steed now it says Keontra Smith, or I think it says or Wayman Steed. Maybe Wayman Steed, how do you think he's done in place of Keontra? And I know he's one of the older guys for sure. Is his playing time going to get reduced now, or what's his situation?
Yeah, so coming in the season, obviously, Keontra was named the starter. Just had a better camp than Steed. Even like I said, going into the season, Steed had a great camp. But I like what I've seen out of Steed. I love his attitude. He understands K4 came back this week, and they were just rolling in and out of there. So, I just love the attitude of both those guys handling who can go in and who can come out. But it'll be up to this week's of practice, who can handle the game plan better. And obviously, the production of K4 of Keontra is hard to keep him off the field. But I have confidence in both those guys going into the game right now. They're both playing pretty well.
And one other thing I wanted to ask you about, I just thought of this, Andy Borgalis. How's he doing? He's making those kicks. How fast did he get over that missed kick? Because I know he's making the.
Yeah. So after the game, he was obviously, after the Virginia game, obviously beside himself, very upset. He's such a competitor. He just knew in his heart he was going to make that kick. He makes it 99 out of 100 times. So he was very, very upset. We talked later that night after the Virginia game, and he had kind of got over it. I mean, he knew what he did. He knew he had to make that kick. But he just promised himself, promised us that he'll get better. He'll make the next ones. And then you saw him kick the other night, and some big kicks he had to make. And he really probably hit some of the best balls he's hit all year the other night up at North Carolina with a little windy condition. So have all the confidence in him, confident kid, very mature. So I'm glad he bounced back and hit those through. It's a big thing because obviously kicking can become you can get a mental block after a big kick that you miss like that, but it was good getting him back out there and making those.
Coach, last up, we'll go back to Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, John, just wanted to ask you, we saw Manny Diaz after the game kind of standing outside the locker room there on the field, look very focused on, trying to figure out how to solve this. And you're with him behind the scenes. You just talk to maybe the effort he's putting in to try to get this resolved and to get you guys on a winning track. Because I think obviously from the outside, everybody just cares about the wins and losses, but he's obviously trying to get this thing right.
Yeah, you look at our last two games, and it's just, Virginia comes down to kick. and we win that game. And this game came down to the last drive where we felt we were moving the ball down the field and had an opportunity to go win it. So really, he was at a loss of words with the team, just as all we were. Even talking to the linebackers, they're heartbroken. They're young men that are heartbroken. They lay it on the line. It came down to the last 2 drives. We could be 2-0 in conference play. So we are working extremely hard. We got to, the battle is X's and O's and wins and losses, but they're humans too. They feel the emotion, they feel the pain. And we gotta navigate through that. We gotta navigate with our guys of how to win a game, and what's causing us not to win games. And that was a big point of contention yesterday. Is there was 3 points all over the field throughout the game. We just got to find those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points or whatever it is to take home a win. But the guys are hurt. Like I said, they're human. They're young men. We just got to come back and find a way to win. But it was a tough locker room. I know that after that game, the guys were hurt. They tried really hard. They fought to the very end. And with all, the lack of depth and guys playing a lot of snaps and guys in different roles, it's never easy. But as a coaching staff, we're going to find a way to win. We got to go find one this weekend.